Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mike from M&R Automotive. Today we have a brand new 2024 Subaru Ascent and we've installed a 30-inch slim light bar. So in order for us to remove the front fascia off the Subaru Ascent, we have to get all the push pins out from the top, from the bottom, and there's actually some on the sides as well. So let me show you how to get that done. So to get these push pins up, you just pry these up and you can take them out. You have a little pry tool. Prop this up. Take it out. There we go. So now that we got the 6 push pins on top, we can actually take out 2 of these, one on each side. And that's in the corner. So lift it up and pull it out. Lift it up and pull it out. Alright, so now we're going to remove all the push pins that are holding the bottom across the whole front lip. So there's one more push pin on each side where the fender meets the bumper. So it's actually here and it's pointing up. See, take that out. And this allows us to separate the bumper from the fender. Then you just kind of pull on it to unclip all these clips. So same thing like on the driver's side. We'll just get a prying tool and take it out. Now with this removed, we can pull on the bumper and unclip this whole side. So just a quick summary, we removed 8 push pins on top, 9 push pins on the bottom, and 1 on each side around the fender. So now let's go ahead and unclip. We already started on the edges, so we can work our way towards the center. There it is. So now that we have the front end off, let's go ahead and install the M&R Slim light bar. With the M&R kit, you get the slim light bar, you get the driver and the passenger side mounts. They will be powder coated black. This is just prototype brackets. And you get the mounting hardware. So let's start off first by taking the brackets and connecting it to the light bar. I'm going to use the provided hardware and I'm going to thread the hardware through the mount. And I want to point out that there's a slot here, so you do have the capability of adjusting the light bar up and down based on your liking. I like it in the lowest position on the bracket, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten it here. That's going to be the driver's side, and I'm going to do the same thing for passenger. Now that we have the brackets on the light bar, we can install it onto the Subaru. So now that we have the brackets on the light bar, we're going to go ahead and install the light bar in place. So one thing I want to show you is the bolt holes that we're going to be using. They come standard on the frame, and I am going to slide the light bar at an angle because there's some obstruction here. These are like the plastic vents. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to slide this at an angle, take this side in, and use supplied hardware to secure the brackets. One thing I want to show you guys is the M&R bracket goes in front of the factory tab. I'm going to move it in front and use supplied hardware to thread it through the bolt hole. So another thing I want to point out is that the front end of the vehicle with these plastic cutouts, they're not symmetrical. It is a little tighter on the passenger side. That's why we maneuvered the light bar on the passenger side first, and then we carried over the driver's side. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a wrench, and I'm going to make everything nice and tight. Now everything's nice and solid. Let's go ahead and route the wiring. I'm going to route it up. It's going to go right underneath the headlight, and it's going to come out into the engine bay. So the battery's on the driver's side, so that's the direction we want to drag this wire. So I'm going to grab this wire. Extend it this way first. Alright, now that we have the wire in the engine bay, let's go ahead and give it some power. In this installation, because the Subaru does not come with auxiliary switches or anything pre-wired, we're going to actually use the M&R wireless wiring harness. It's very simple to use. All you have to do is connect it, a positive and negative, to the battery and connect the light bars to it. Everything else is wireless, and you do not have to drag any wires inside the vehicle to connect the switch. Let me show you how to assemble it. You get your operation manual, you get your stickers for the wireless remote. There's a remote, there's the actual controller, a magnetic pad for the remote. You use the 3M tape to put this pad in somewhere inside the cab, and then it'll just stick and create a base for the remote. You get some mounting zip ties, and we get a bag of hardware. You get a master fuse, and this is 100 amp. You get a fuse holder, and when you take the cover off, that's where we're going to connect the master power wire. So let's go ahead and connect the fuse. I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew these 2 bolts. Take off the top washer. I'm gonna go ahead and slide the fuse here. And we're gonna also connect the 2 terminals. So inside the baggie you get 2 red wires. This is gonna be our power wires. You get a ground wire. Also get an ACC wire. It's an optional feature. We're actually not gonna use this ACC wire for this project because the fuse size is different, so we're gonna put it away. So now that we're installing the master fuse for the fuse box, we're gonna go ahead and connect the 2 power wires, one on each side. We're gonna use the washer and the nut that we previously removed. On the second end, we do the same thing. We're gonna connect the terminal. We're gonna put a washer, a lock washer, and a nut. One end inside the box, one end to the battery, and there's a fuse in the middle. So let me show you how to connect this wire into this box. Let's go ahead and take off the 4 bolts. And if you look inside, there's a battery plus and a battery minus tag. So the red wire is gonna go to the battery plus. We're gonna unscrew this. I'm gonna slide the terminal underneath it like that, and we can tighten it. Now that the positive is ready, we're gonna do the same thing for the ground. It's a small terminal here. So now we have this unit assembled, connected to the battery. I'm gonna go ahead and take the cover off. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this bolt here. I'm gonna loosen it, slide the terminal under, and retighten it. Now we're done with the positive, let's go ahead and do the ground. Same thing, so you're gonna use a thin wire to ground it, and we're gonna tighten it. When the module gets power and ground, you'll see a green indicator light in the upper right corner. So now our wireless module is ready to go. Let's go over the wiring of the light bar. We're installing a 30-inch slim dual function light bar, meaning it has 2 functions. It has the powerful white light, but it also has the amber DRL. Because it is 2 function, it has 2 power wires. The red wire is going to be the power to the main white light. The blue wire is going to be the power for the amber DRL, and then the black wire is going to be the ground. So we're going to use 2 switches in our wireless module. We're going to actually give power to these 2 wires. If you purchased a single function light bar, then you're only going to get 2 wires. You're just going to get a red and black, and you're not going to get the blue. So let me show you how to connect it to the module. So this is the wireless remote. I'm going to use button number 1 for the powerful white light, and I'm going to actually use button number 5 for the amber DRL. So circuit number 1, that's going to be a 30 amp fuse. You don't have to put this light bar on a 30 amp fuse, but because it is available, I'm going to go ahead and use it. So the red wire, that's the white main function of the light. We're going to put that on switch number 1, and then switch number 5, we're going to put the amber DRL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you don't have to drag any wires inside the vehicle. Makes installation a lot easier. So the last thing that we have to do, we have to ground the light bar. So I'm going to put an eyelid onto the ground, and I'm going to also ground the light bar. We already grounded the panel. It was probably a good idea to ground both at the same time using the same bolt. So I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put the eyelid terminal, then I'm going to put that ground bolt, and then I also have to squeeze in the ground for the module onto here as well. So now that everything's complete, we're going to go ahead and tidy everything up and put the front backpack on. One place in this vehicle that I'm going to go ahead and secure this module, it actually comes with zip ties. I can probably even secure it to this stem that holds the battery because there's plenty of space here. You just want to make sure that it's nice and stationary. Alright, now let's go ahead and test it. So now let's go ahead and test our wiring. I'm going to go with the amber DRL first. That's switch number 5. That's the amber backglow. And then with switch number 1, that's going to be our main functional light, which is the powerful white light. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I know you guys are going to love the product.